Right now, somewhere in your yard, there are plants growing that you have spent years trying to destroy. You have pulled them, sprayed them, smothered them with mulch, and every single spring, they come back. What if I told you that the plants you have been killing are more nutritious than the vegetables you are actually trying to grow? That one of them contains more omega-3 fatty acids than any other leafy green on Earth? That another one was deliberately carried across the Atlantic Ocean in the 1600s because it was considered too valuable to leave behind? Today we are covering 6 weeds that are almost certainly growing in your yard right now. And by the time this video is done, you will never look at them the same way again. Here is what most of us have done. We spend money on seeds. We prepare the soil. We water carefully. We protect against pests. And we pull every weed we see because we were told that is what good gardeners do. Meanwhile, 3 feet away from our carefully tended beds, plants are growing on their own with 0 cost, 0 watering, 0 fertilizer. And in some cases, they are outperforming our cultivated vegetables on nutrition. We have been paying to destroy a free food system that has been trying to establish itself in our gardens for decades. The word weed does not describe a plant. It describes a relationship. A weed is simply a plant growing somewhere a human decided they did not want it. That is the entire definition. Before the herbicide industry convinced an entire generation that a perfect lawn was the goal, these plants were considered crops. They were cultivated, harvested, traded, and eaten. The science has not changed. Only the marketing has. Everything in this video comes from USDA food composition records, peer-reviewed nutritional research, the Brooklyn Botanic Garden, the Missouri Department of Conservation, and Columbia University's Introduced Species Project. This is not folk wisdom. This is documented, measurable, verifiable fact that your garden center has no financial interest in telling you. We have 6 weeds to get through, and every single one will surprise you. But weed number 1 is the plant that was intentionally brought to North America in the 1600s by settlers who considered it too valuable to leave in Europe. Most people spray it with herbicide every spring. Stay with me. If you are not subscribed yet, do it now. Every week, I put out content like this, the gardening knowledge most channels skip, because there is nothing to sell you. Hit subscribe, and you will not miss it. Weed number 1. Dandelion Taraxacum officinale. The plant you have been poisoning is the one your ancestors carried across an ocean on purpose. According to the Brooklyn Botanic Garden, the Missouri Department of Conservation, and Columbia University's Introduced Species Project, the common dandelion was deliberately introduced to North America in the 17th century by European settlers who planted it in their kitchen gardens as food and medicine. Columbia University describes it as an invited species. People carried it across an ocean intentionally. That is documented history. Here is what USDA nutrient data shows. Per 100 grams of raw dandelion greens, 649% of your daily recommended vitamin K, 338% of your daily vitamin A, 39% of your daily iron, 19% of your daily calcium. All of that at just 45 calories. Every part of the dandelion is edible, the root, the leaf, and the flower. Young leaves harvested in early spring before the plant flowers are the least bitter. Use them raw in salads or cooked like spinach. The most important warning: only harvest dandelions from areas that have been completely free of herbicides and pesticides for at least 1 full growing season. A lawn treated with weed killer is not a safe harvest area, no matter how healthy the plants look. Drop a comment. Did you know dandelions were brought here on purpose? Most people have no idea. Weed number 2, Purslane portulaca oleracea. The only land plant with omega-3 fatty acid levels that rival leafy greens, and it grows best when everything else in your garden is struggling. Research published in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition by Simopoulos et al. And confirmed by a 2014 study in the Scientific World Journal, identified purslane as containing the highest levels of omega-3 fatty acids of any green leafy vegetable. Specifically, 300 to 400 milligrams of alpha-linolenic acid per 100 grams of fresh leaves. For comparison, spinach contains roughly 0.89 milligrams per gram. Purslane has been shown to contain 5 times more omega-3 fatty acids than spinach. Mother Earth News, citing nutritional analysis data, reports that purslane provides 6 times more vitamin E than spinach. You will recognize purslane by its thick, succulent-like stems and small rounded leaves that hug close to the ground. It thrives in hot, dry conditions, the conditions that stress and kill most of your other vegetables in midsummer. Harvest the tender tips of the stems. Eat raw in salads or lightly stir-fried. Important note, purslane contains oxalic acid. People with a history of kidney stones should consume it in moderation. For everyone else, it is one of the most nutritionally dense free foods your garden produces. Weed number 3. Lamb's Quarters Chenopodium album. The free green that is quietly outperforming your spinach and actually improving your soil at the same time. Lamb's Quarters belongs to the same plant family as quinoa and beets. The Old Farmer's Almanac notes that lamb's quarters growing in your garden is a reliable indicator of nitrogen-rich soil. Native American tribes across North America cultivated it deliberately, harvesting both the leaves and the seeds, which are similar in size and structure to quinoa. The leaves are rich in protein, iron, calcium, riboflavin, and vitamins A and C. Cook them exactly like spinach, they wilt down identically. Identify lamb's quarters by its blue-green leaves with a distinctive dusty white coating on the underside and a slightly diamond-shaped leaf structure. One thing to manage carefully: a single lamb's quarters plant can produce over 75,000 seeds. If you want to harvest it without it taking over your entire garden, cut the plants back monthly before they flower. The roots left in the soil will break down and enrich it as they decompose. We are halfway through, and I want to make sure you stay because weed number 4 is something your soil is actively starving for, and weed number 6 is the one I saved for last on purpose. It is the most overlooked plant on this list, and the reason most people have never heard of eating it has nothing to do with whether it is useful. Do not click away. Weed number 4, Clover trifolium species. The free nitrogen factory that is already working in your lawn, and you have been mowing it into nothing every weekend. Clover is a legume. Like all legumes, it forms a biological partnership with rhizobium bacteria that live in small nodules on its roots. Those bacteria pull nitrogen gas directly out of the atmosphere and convert it into a plant-available form. According to agricultural research and the resource site EarthEasy, clover stays greener in drought conditions longer than grass, needs no fertilizer, and actively replenishes the nitrogen that heavy-feeding crops like tomatoes and corn remove from your soil. Before synthetic fertilizers existed, farmers planted clover deliberately to restore depleted fields, a well-documented agricultural practice. Allowing clover to grow between your garden beds means your vegetables are receiving a slow, continuous, natural nitrogen supply at zero cost. The flowers are fully edible and attract pollinators. Dried red clover flowers currently sell for $8 to $15 per ounce at herbal retailers. You are mowing that into your grass bag every weekend. If this is the kind of content you want every week, real facts, real history, the things that actually save you money in your garden, hit subscribe right now. The next 2 weeds are the ones that surprised me most. Weed number 5, Chickweed stellaria media. The only plant on this list that produces edible fresh greens before your garden has even woken up from winter. Chickweed is a cool season plant that begins growing in late winter in most temperate climates. February or March, weeks before the last frost date and weeks before any cultivated vegetable can be safely started outdoors. According to research cited by SARE, the Sustainable Agriculture Research and Education Program, chickweed seeds can remain viable in soil for up to 25 years under cool, buried conditions. Nutritionally, chickweed delivers vitamin A, vitamin C, iron, calcium, magnesium, potassium, and B vitamins. According to BC Farms and Food, healthy chickweed growing in your garden is actually an indicator of fertile, well-cultivated soil, it accumulates potassium and phosphorus and releases both back into the soil as it decomposes. The flavor is mild and fresh, similar to baby spinach, without bitterness. Use it raw, in salads, or lightly cooked. Harvest the tender stems and leaves in late winter and early spring, before it sets seed. One caution noted by Wikipedia and plant databases: chickweed contains saponins and is not advised during pregnancy or breastfeeding. For everyone else, it is one of the most useful early-season wild greens available. Weed number 6, Wood Sorrel, Oxalis stricta. And here it is, the one I told you to wait for. Wood sorrel is the plant most people walk right past. It looks similar to clover, 3 heart-shaped leaves clustered together, small yellow flowers. Most gardeners never think twice about it. But wood sorrel gets its distinctive sour, citrusy flavor from oxalic acid, the same compound that gives rhubarb its tartness, and that flavor is your signal. According to multiple foraging resources, plant databases, and historical medical records, wood sorrel is a well-documented source of vitamin C. It was used historically to prevent scurvy, the same disease that killed sailors on long voyages who had no access to fresh plant material. All parts of the plant are edible: leaves, stems, flowers, and seed pods. The taste is bright, lemony, and clean, described by foragers as similar to apple peel or lemon. Add the leaves raw to salads, use them as a fresh garnish, or steep in hot water for a citrusy tea. The Old Farmer's Almanac identifies wood sorrel as a soil indicator. Its presence points to low calcium levels in your soil, giving you diagnostic information that most gardeners pay for a test kit to discover. Wood sorrel grows in partial shade under trees, along north-facing fence lines, in the shadowed corners of beds where almost nothing else will thrive. It fills the dead zones of your garden with something edible, nutritious, and useful. The reason most people have never considered eating wood sorrel has nothing to do with whether it is safe. It is simply that there is no product to sell, no seed packet to purchase, and no profit in telling you that your shady corner is already growing something worth harvesting. Moderation note: like purslane, wood sorrel contains oxalic acid, so people with kidney stones, gout, or arthritis should limit intake. Let me bring this together. 6 weeds, all already in your yard, all free. Dandelion brought to North America deliberately in the 17th century, delivering 649% of your daily vitamin K and 338% of your vitamin A per 100 grams. Purslane confirmed by peer-reviewed research as the land plant with the highest omega-3 fatty acid content of any leafy green. Lamb's quarters, a nitrogen-rich green in the quinoa family, intentionally cultivated by Native American tribes for centuries. Clover, a biological nitrogen factory that restores your soil fertility for free while producing edible, commercially valuable flowers. Chickweed, the only cool season green that feeds you before your garden is awake, with seeds viable in soil for up to 25 years. Wood sorrel, a documented vitamin C source, a free soil diagnostic tool, and one of the best tasting foraged greens available growing in the shadiest corner of your yard. The food system we have been protecting our lawns for is the fragile one. These weeds have survived every frost, every drought, every season, without any help from us at all. If this video changed the way you see your garden, hit the like button. It helps this reach other gardeners who need to hear it. Subscribe if you are not already, because every week I bring you exactly this kind of content, the real science and real history that your garden center has no reason to share with you. Drop a comment below and tell me which of these 6 weeds is growing in your yard right now. I read every single one. Share this with someone who has been fighting weeds all season. It might be the most useful thing they see this year. And before you go, next week I am showing you how to turn 3 of these weeds into the most powerful liquid fertilizer your garden has ever had. 0 cost. Ready in 48 hours. Stay subscribed.